Howdy, and welcome to the Highline Herd podcast, where stories ride strong and the bond between folks and their horses runs deep. Each Sunday, we're talking everything from trail tips and tack to good old horse sense and the people who live it every day. Keep up with the herd by following us over on Instagram at the Highline Herd and swinging by our website at thehighlineherd.com. Now, let's ride into today's episode. Hello. Just wanted to take a minute here and kind of address something. So in this episode, we originally started out planning to talk about what it's like adding new horses into your herd. And about midway through, we kind of changed pace naturally because that's the way the conversation led into talking about something that is really difficult for a lot of horse people, but also pet owners, and that is euthanasia and what it looks like. So if that is something that is you're sensitive to or you don't want to hear, just kind of like a PSA, that's what this episode is going to primarily cover after the midway point, and it's probably best for you to kind of steer away. But if it is something that you are interested in hearing our perspectives on and kind of some of the stories that we have experienced or heard about, stay tuned and kind of listen in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Highline Herd. I'm Skylar.
I'm Shelby.
And today we're going to be talking about adding another horse to your herd.
Yeah,
what does that look like?
Yeah, just introducing a new horse to your herd, to the barn herd, however it is, whether it's your personal herd or a boarding herd.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of factors that actually go into deciding how to integrate, whether you do integrate, and all of that. So it doesn't need to be complex, but sometimes it can be a little more complicated than you may prefer.
Yeah. As is anything with horses,
right? Yeah, they can't just make life easy.
No, that's too easy.
So probably the biggest thing is first determining the horse. So when I say that, I mean,
let's take a pause there. The biggest thing is making sure all your horses are on the same vaccines. They have all their papers, the coggins, all of that.
That's probably definitely the biggest one that I would hope you did before you even brought it into the facility.
It's like before you even consider it. You want to make sure.
Like, has this thing been on quarantine for a minimum of 2 weeks? Yes. Maximum 30 days?
Yeah.
Has he been cleared by your vet or the facility vet?
Yep.
Does he have the vaccines necessary? Does he have a negative coggins?
Does he have paperwork showing that information?
That's definitely a huge one.
It's a big one, and I think it's something that a lot of people skip on.
I think a lot of people don't think about it.
Yes.
Because, so this is one thing I kind of picked up on over the last few years. When I bought Valor, the guy I bought him from had horses. He was in a polo club. So all the veterinary work was there. He paid for me to get a PPE done on Valor.
That's awesome.
The seller paid for the PPE. He was like so confident in what he was giving me. He's like, look, I'll cover the PPE because like this horse is worth it.
Yeah.
So, I didn't think about that. But when I bought my second, technically third horse, the vet told me, she's like, look, I know this is like your first time on your own, so I'll just tell you, you got lucky, but really horses should be quarantined and you should make sure you get all the veterinary paperwork. And I was like, well, I have her negative coggins. I know she's been vaccinated or at least seen because the person I bought her from only had her for a handful of months and she had been previously at a rescue. The rescue is what I'm familiar with and I trust them to have properly vetted the horses.
Yeah.
But when I got Remedy, my newest project,
which nobody here has heard about Remedy.
Yeah. When I got him, I did the 2-week quarantine But I also treated him like he had never seen a vet a day before in his life because I have no history. So not only did we vaccinate him on everything, he also got the booster vaccines, which typically the only horses that get boosters are young horses.
Mm-hmm.
Your older horses typically don't need boosters because they've been vaccinated so many times before.
Yep.
So we went into it and treated him like he had never been vaccinated. I treated him like he was extremely contagious because for all I knew he was.
Mm-hmm.
And really, when you're introducing a new horse, that's what you should do. You shouldn't just play the chance of, oh, they seem healthy.
They might not have anything.
Yeah.
It's better to do your due diligence, make sure everything is covered on your end.
And like I said, I got lucky with the first two, Walker and Valor. Walker's my mom's horse. Both came from experienced horse people, and Walker's owners even handed us a file of everything about him. What they paid for him to... Yeah, like, he had paperwork about when they first bought him, them paying the money to have a bit seat put in because of the way his teeth had grown. They had everything I needed for Walker.
Nice.
Same with Valor. Like, that guy was like, here, I'll pay for the PPE. Like, the horse is vetted. He's good to go. But not everybody does that.
No.
And actually, that is one thing I try to do as a trainer and as a seller. I sold the third horse I bought because she was just too small for me and what I wanted. And I'm not going to keep a horse that's too small and make her work because that's not fair to her. Mm-hmm. And where she is now is the perfect place for her. She's constantly ridden by kids, played with by kids, groomed, loved on, just treated like a giant puppy. And she loves it. She loves the kids. She loves the everyday attention. So, but when I sold her, I said, hey, here is the file of everything she's had done while I've owned her. Her coggins, her vaccines, stitches, all of it. Here it is. Like, here's all the information you need on this horse.
Yeah.
And that is what every horse person should do. They should have a file up to date of everything that's been done with their horse. Dewormers, vaccines, all of it. But not everybody does that.
No.
So, when you get a new horse, quarantine them. Doesn't matter if you think they're healthy. Quarantine them. Unless they have a file of paperwork, unless you have called the vet that treated them.
Or you know the vet personally and they have informed you. Yeah.
Quarantine them. It's safe. Especially because there's a vaccine that isn't required and it should be. Strangles.
Oh my gosh, yes. We've covered it in previous episodes.
We really have, and I still can't get over that.
It's so important.
It really is. I'm like, to sell a horse, to cross state lines with a horse, to show, you should have to show not only a negative coggins, but proof of vaccination. Because strangles is so contagious and so deadly. And the amount of, like, there was an outbreak, what was it, last year before last, from an auction?
Oh, yeah.
And it killed a facility of, 60, 70 horses?
It was bad. It infected the entire barn and everybody that was there for, I believe, like a show or event.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough.
And, and a couple of the horses that were carrying it came from auction.
Yep.
They'd come into contact with how many other horses out of that auction?
So then they were trying to track down all the auction horses and the owner wasn't cooperating and it was just this huge, huge problem. Yeah. The biggest vaccine you can possibly get, in my opinion, is the strangles vaccine. Mm-hmm. All of my horses are required to get it. The only horse that doesn't get it is he has no possible way of traveling where he's going to come into contact with other horses. He is a true pasture ornament. Yeah. He will not leave the property unless he's either moving barns or dead. Yep. So, but everybody else that has a possibility of coming in contact with a new or strange horse, strangles vaccination. Mm-hmm. And my vet doesn't even ask me anymore if I want to do it. She just knows it is part of the lineup. You give them everything. Yep. Yep. So the horse that travels the most in my barn is Valor, but I still give everybody strangles vaccinations because I'm not going to play them. I'm not going to take the risk. Exactly. Well, through Valor, they're being exposed possibly too. Right. And so that's horses can be asymptomatic and still pass it on. Yep. So those are all things to consider. And, actually we really probably should do a strangles episode. Yeah, just in itself.
Yeah, that
focusing on the vaccines and why they're important, what they
prevention,
are. Yes.
symptoms, treatment. So, yeah, let's steer back into today's episode. Well, because honestly, it's something I found isn't talked about a lot.
It's not. No, I know when I first got into horses, it wasn't even a thing that anybody thought to tell me about.
No, and when I boarded, they kind of handled the veterinary care, which was helpful and detrimental.
Yeah,
I
didn't learn.
Exactly. And they did strangles because they knew of how bad the outbreaks could be. And I was just like, okay, you know what? Like, at the time, I was like, I trust your judgment.
Yep.
And then I moved, and I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing it. And then I did some research, and I was like, oh, yeah, everybody gets strangles vaccines. We're not playing this game.
Yeah, we're not playing with fire.
No.
It's not worth it.
It's not. And
No.
you know what? The cost of treatment and what you have to go through is so... The cost of treatment's immense, but what you have to go through, the level of quarantine, the level of sterilization is insane. And then for the likelihood that your horse isn't going to survive.
Yes,
the mortality rate is so high. So, yeah, don't even play the game. Just, just vaccinate your horses, please. Make sure they're vaccinated before you introduce them.
Better safe than sorry. It's worth it. Just do it. Trust us.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It, like, honest and truly, if you have to pay an extra $20 now, I promise you it is better than the $10,000 you will pay down the line.
Yeah.
And trust me, there will be things where you're like, well, that seems really expensive. Yeah, well, have you seen the cost of vet bills? Do you know what it costs to keep a horse in a hospital just for one night?
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
When I had to haul Valor up to OSU, that was the question I asked. I said, what are we looking at cost-wise? Like, because I wasn't going to... Yes, it was riskier for me to take him home. But depending on the price, realistically...
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that. Everyone has a budget. And sometimes the expenses with horses are more than we can afford. Yep. And there is no shame in euthanizing because of that. No, ultimately, you are putting forward their quality of life.
Exactly. And that's something that's not talked about. It's like, it's hush-hush. Nobody wants to say that.
It is, and so many people nowadays are bleeding hearts. I grew up with animals. I grew up with farm animals. I grew up with household pets. Mm-hmm. I grew up with yes, it is a meat animal. We are going to eat it. We are still going to treat it with kindness and consideration and dignity and respect. Mm-hmm. If we hunt deer and we shoot it incorrectly, we do our best to put it out of its misery as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
You know, if we have household animals and they are failing in some capacity or they are not comfortable, we put them out of their misery. And here's the thing I will tell people. Put them down on a good day. Yep. When you know they are safe and fat and happy and loved. Yeah. Do not prolong their suffering. Do not risk them going to somebody who will not love them or care for them.
Yes. Oh my God, please. Yeah. That's something.
Yeah.
If you've got a horse and they're not doing good, they have a bad prognosis and it's not looking good, there's no room for improvement.
Or if there's a level of maintenance you can't afford, there is no shame in euthanizing them.
Yes.
Because at least you know you did right by them. They were happy and safe and loved when they went down. I see so many people try to sell horses that are pasture ornaments, and I'm like, there's not a good future for them.
Or the old horses.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's not a good future for them.
No, they either end up in slaughter or passed around, and it's not fair to them at all.
So here's a horror story. Yeah. It's a true, this poor mare, and this is a true horror story. This is one of those things that made me write off this person and lose all respect for them as a professional.
Oh dear.
So they went and looked at a mare for a client. They sent pictures of this mare to me and the manager. Me and the manager looked at each other and we were like, this mare is not what they're saying. They said she was 17. There is no way this mare was 17.
Older?
Older.
Okay.
Significantly older. She looked it. She was thin. Like, you know how old horses get? They don't keep weight no matter how much you feed them.
Yeah.
That kind of thin.
Oh, no.
It wasn't just like, oh, no one fed her. It was truly you could tell it was the age thin.
Oh, no.
The professional talked the client into buying the horse. And the horse, not sound. Shocking.
Eek.
The client was heavier. She shouldn't have been on this horse to begin with. The horse wasn't sound. She wasn't comfortable, so they said, well, let's slap some shoes on. Shoes aren't the solution to this kind of problem. So what they did instead was they had the vet out. The vet did her teeth, and she said, this horse is probably 30 years old, if not more.
Ooh.
Her teeth were that worn down, they were done growing. She was past that point. Her teeth were no longer growing, no longer developing. So that's past 25.
Mm-hmm.
And based on her condition and everything else, the vet was like, she's got to be at least 30. And
Yikes.
you know what the trainer at the time told the client?
Oh, no.
She said, oh, injector. The vet gave her a clean bill of health. And I had heard the vet. I was there with the vet. I stood with the vet as she went through this with the person at the time. And I heard her tell the client that the vet said it was fine and just inject her and ride her.
Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a lot of horror stories. There's a lot of things that happen.
This mare was one of those two that had been loved at some point in her life. She had that kind of demeanor about her. She was that old, that sore, and she was still going to try her heart out.
Oh, gosh.
She was sweet as sweet could be. She was one of those, like, if you just booped her a little too hard, she acted like you shot her. Yeah. Like, she was just a doll baby, and I was like, you poor thing. Yeah. If someone had euthanized you, you never would have gotten to this point.
No. And it's no shame in doing
There's no shame. Truly, as sweet as this mare was, I wish the sellers would have euthanized her. Yeah. I'm like, why did you try and sell her and pass her as younger than she was?
Well, and lie about it, too.
Yeah.
That's another big thing that happens in the horse selling world.
It does.
And that's why our episode, talking about the red flags and, how to really look for your first horse or look for any horse in general.
How to vet your people.
It's all important and it all ties together.
It really is, because people like that quote-unquote trainer are out there. They do take advantage of clients that don't know better. They do take advantage of horses that are just kind-hearted souls that will try no matter how much pain they are in.
Yeah. Ooh.
And there are people that take advantage of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever trust what you've been told. Do your own vetting, your own research.
Yep.
So, we kind of derailed a little bit.
Just a bit, again. That's okay.
But it's something that truly needs to be talked about. And I almost wonder if that's what we should switch our episode to. Is the things no one in the horse world wants to talk about.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, because, we're... those are the things that need to be talked about, and I don't see them enough. And I will absolutely tell you, there is no shame. There is no shame in putting quality of life, happiness, comfort before profit, before easing your own guilt, before any of that, because reality is you have nothing to feel guilty for.
No, not at all. And I feel like a lot of people, when I do see posts like that come up on any type of social media, there's so many comments being like, why are you doing this? That's so mean. That's so horrible. Why would you put your horse down if it's still okay? Or like, don't go into something with that type of mentality, because you don't know the full situation. You don't know what's going on. You can't
You haven't seen
judge.
You haven't seen the x-rays. You haven't seen the horse. You just know what you've been told. And not everybody's a great storyteller. No. Sometimes the way they type things makes it sound either better than it was or a little bit different than the actual situation.
Yeah.
And some people don't always comprehend. Some people struggle to process certain things. If I would much rather be told, here's the diagnosis. Navicular is a great example. That is a degenerative disease. You will never cure a navicular horse.
No.
You can only keep them comfortable. If I was told, here's the diagnosis of navicular, I would say, okay, how long can we keep them comfortable? And that would be my goal. How long can we keep them comfortable? And as soon as they start showing more frequent signs of discomfort, even in the pasture, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to keep them on pain medications. It's not fair to constantly inject them
or surgery,
or shoe them or surgery or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
No.
This is the thing that I think a lot of people forget. They get caught up in their own emotions. They anthropomorphize animals.
Yes. People tend to think that animals are just like humans and that they can bounce back or they can rehabilitate or they can deal with all the stress of surgeries and reconditioning and all of that. But that's not really the case.
It's not. So, for one, surgery and anesthesia is extremely hard on horses.
Yes.
It is very, very hard for them to bounce back from, especially depending on their breed.
Mm-hmm.
It is... The prognosis for certain surgeries isn't great. Colic surgery is extremely costly, and your horse has to be on stall rest for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then their chances of colicking again within the first year, I think, are like 60-70%. It's really high.
It's almost not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not.
So here's the other thing I will tell people too. When I am looking at a recovery, when I am looking at stall rest, I have a cutoff point for stall rest. If they tell me true stall rest, they can't have access to a run out, they can't have access to the round pen. If they are saying true 100% stall rest, and they are saying it is in excess of 2, maybe 3 months, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Because horses are not meant to live in a box.
They are not. No, I see that so much in all these different barns that I've worked and been at, of like, these horses stay in their stalls. They don't get turnout. They don't get this. They don't have to do this. No, they do. They're roaming animals. That's part of how they were formed as a creature. Like,
here's the thing. Like, they have to move. They have to roll. They have to lay down. They have to interact with other horses. Now, here is the thing, though. Yes, domesticated horses should be okay with being stalled. They should be okay with being alone. I am not saying that they need to be on 24/7 turnout or... they need to be with friends 100% of the time. That's not realistic.
No.
And 2, it does create herd sour, buddy sour, barn sour.
It creates issues in itself.
It does. But when we are talking about recouping from an injury, I am not going to put my horse through that amount of box rest.
Well, it's stressing your animal out.
It's so stressful. And stress slows the recovery.
Exactly.
And their likelihood of, when they do finally get out of that rest, of being dangerous and being dangerous to themselves, to you, because they're so pent up.
Yeah.
Of them re-injuring it or a worse injury resulting. It's not just worth it.
It's a danger, and it's one of those things where it's better to call it than it is to put your animal through something like that, because it's not natural for them. It's not good mentally for them. No matter how much stimulus you can give them or how much you can do, they're limited, and you're limited.
They are. And here's the other thing. Horses are designed to live on their feet. If they cannot properly use all 4 feet to balance themselves, to move, to roll, to do things, they are at more risk of being physically unwell. They are at more risk of being sore, lame.
Yeah.
They are at more risk of injury because they're not able to use their bodies appropriately.
Yep.
Is it possible? Yes. Can you keep them comfortable? Yes. But is it worth it? Do they have that quality of life? I have one in my barn. I understand the decisions his owner has made. They have been very tough decisions. If he was not able to go out in the field the way he does, if he was not able to comfortably play with the other horses like he does, I would sit down and have a conversation with his owner and be very realistic. Because morally, I'm not going to keep something in my barn that is unsound, uncomfortable, or in pain.
No.
Not for the sake of somebody's feelings, not for the sake of making someone feel good about themselves.
No.
My priority is the animal first. And yes, it hurts. It sucks. It is going to be one of the hardest things you ever make. But please don't let anybody make you feel guilty. You know the situation. You know your animal. Trust your gut. Trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, there is no shame in calling it because of finances or because of discomfort. Give them the dignity of a peaceful rest.
Yes.
Don't make them suffer.
Yeah.
Don't make them deal with injections and needle pokes and trailer trips and 7 different kinds of medications and supplements shoved down their throat.
Or multiple surgeries and rehabilitations. It's not worth it in some cases.
It's not.
And it gets so costly.
It gets so costly and it's so stressful for everybody.
Yeah.
And there is no shame in saying, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's none. Because there's no shame in it. Whether it's a dog or a horse or a cat. Whether it's a cow or a sheep, a goat, a capybara. There is no shame in putting them first.
Mm-hmm.
Their quality of life, their happiness, their health, their comfort. Give them a good day. Give yourself a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Love on them. Spend time with them. Load them up with treats. And let them go on a day that's good.
Yeah.
Let them go on a day that's bright and sunny and they've had all the love in the world given to them. Even if you think they could have made it 6 more months. You don't know what that 6 months may have looked like.
You don't, no. And it could be the worst 6 months of both of your lives.
It really could.
And yeah.
There was a pony I was a part of, and they had her for 5 years. And she was a lesson pony, but that did not diminish how much she was loved by the families of the kids that rode her, by the barn staff, and they knew, yes, she probably could have lasted a couple more days. She may have even been able to recover. She was 26. They had a day for her where everybody came out. They loved on her, they gave her treats, and the vet came out and said, honestly, I can't give you a guaranteed prognosis.
Mm. Yeah.
And they said, okay, everybody's already said their goodbyes. Everyone's already loaded her up with treats. Like, she's had a good day. And so while she was surrounded by people that loved her, and it was a good day, sunny, they sent her out in the back hayfield, let her munch some grass, and while she ate, they put her down. And that was the best way they could have done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Without a guaranteed prognosis, they said, you know what? She's 26. She has done fantastic. She has lived an amazing life.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to do her the kindness of letting her go now.
I would say that's probably the kindest thing that you can do for your animals.
It is. Like, they served you. Now you have to do the best by them.
You gotta pay it forward. And
you
gotta do what you know is right. And it's
Yeah.
hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. Like, we're both tearing up
Yeah,
just
like-
talking about this, if you can't tell.
Because, like, both of us have experienced it. We've seen it. We've been a part of those decisions.
Heck, I've personally experienced it with Willie.
Yeah.
There was one point where he injured himself so bad, and he severed a good portion of his front tendon. And I thought, this is it. This is how I'm gonna have to put him down, because I wasn't able to spend the thousands of dollars of surgery just to have him overnight at a vet office. And thankfully, I had my vet, and she was able to come out for an emergency visit and change the entire prognosis. And she was like, yeah, no, this is something we can fix. It's gonna be hard, but we can fix it. And he's still here today.
Yeah, and I mean...
But I was ready to make that call.
Same thing when I took Valor to OSU. Like, depending on what it was, I had to be ready to make that decision.
Yep.
Because ultimately no one else was going to make it.
No. They're your animal. They're your responsibility.
And you know them best.
Exactly.
So, when you're sitting there not sure, bouncing around in your head, and you're watching them run in the field, just think, you know what? It's better for them to go when they're happy and they're comfortable and everything's good than to make them suffer.
Yeah.
I have seen so many people wait and then they're miserable. Their horse is in agony by the time it comes, and that's not fair.
No. No.
And you're not doing yourself any favors.
No.
So just this episode took a depressing turn, but honestly,
it's not said enough.
It's not, and I really wish it was. I really wish people stopped guilting people for it.
Exactly.
I have had so many conversations with my boarder, not to manipulate her or to make her feel one way or another, just to comfort her that, hey, there is no shame in the decision. In any of these decisions you may have to make.
Yeah.
Horses,
this is a safe space, and
it is.
Yeah.
Horses are expensive, and I'm not going to judge if that is what sways your decision. You know, if you need me to make it for you when it comes to one of them, I will make it, because I understand the emotional attachment that goes into it.
Yeah. And
I understand that sometimes it's hard to see the reality of the situation through your affections.
And some people, honestly, and it's okay too, they cannot make those calls.
They can't, and that's okay. It takes all kinds. This is where your community needs to come in.
You have to have trusted people in your community that you can go to with something like this and be like, listen, I don't know what to do. I can't do this. Yeah. I need help. And I know Shelby. Yeah. She would probably do that for me. I know I would definitely do it for Shelby.
Yeah, it's important to have community and people you trust to make the call, because sometimes you're too close to the fire to see.
Yes. And it helps to have that second perspective of someone who can step back and be like, this is what's going on. Okay.
And yeah, and it's helpful to have someone say, look, yes, I know if you go through the 6 months of stall rest and the 10 months of rehab following that stall rest, that they might pull through. They might be rideable. But that's 17 months of how much stress on your horse.
Of hell for that horse.
Yeah, that's 17 months of how much money out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot.
Here's the reality with horses. Sometimes our decisions are based on prognosis. And sometimes our decisions are based on finances. And there is no shame in either one.
Nope.
Healthcare is expensive, whether you're 2-legged or 4-legged. We don't shame people for refusing healthcare because they can't afford it. Why are we shaming animal owners, horse owners?
Or even small pet owners, too.
Any owner. Like, this world is so expensive. And even if the prognosis is great, not everybody has $20,000 to just throw towards veterinary care. And to shame people for that is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's something that needs to kind of change, but it's going to take time.
It is.
And it's going to take education and for people to really sit down and think about things.
And you know what? We'll kind of call the episode here, but one final thing I will say is, we will, even if no one else is willing to publicly say it yet, we will. There is no shame to euthanize on a good day. There is no shame to euthanize because of finances. It is so much better to put them down when they are pain-free and happy and comfortable and safe than to wonder where they wound up.
Oh, yeah.
Than to wonder if they were ever taken care of.
Or if they were loved again.
Yeah. Than to make them suffer for 6 more months.
Yep.
There is no shame in making the decision because of finances.
Nope.
Even if no one else in your life tells you that, we will sit here and tell you that.
Yes.
If you want to reach out for support, we will give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because we understand that there will be people out there, maybe your entire community, telling you that you're wrong and you should feel horrible. But
ultimately, you know your horse. You know the situation and you know how to handle it.
And trust yourself. Give them the same respect and kindness that they have shown you. So, it's a rough episode.
But it's very important in its own right.
It is. No one talks about it.
No.
And that's why, I have made it clear to my boarder, I'm like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Because these aren't easy decisions, and I know so many people will try and make you feel bad about it.
Yeah. And heck, if this is a decision that you are, in the early stages of contemplating, or even something that you're having to go through, like, that's okay. Feel free to reach out if you need another support. We are happy to provide that.
Yeah,
and it's hard, and
it is
nobody
hard.
has to go through it alone.
No, and honestly, there's very little we will, if any, there's very little we would look down on.
No.
When that decision comes into play.
Yeah.
There's very, very little, if anything.
It's hard one to make, and it's probably
really
one of
is.
the most difficult decisions you can make as a pet owner. But it's also one of the most respectable, in my opinion.
It is, because it is the most difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It takes so much to make that decision.
Yeah.
And I have more respect for the people who call it.
Yeah.
Than the people who wait and wait and wait.
Yes.
And I get it. It's hard. You don't want to let them go, but it's time.
Yeah.
So
this week's episode kind of took a change. But we hope you guys at least gain some insight from this episode, or it gives you something to think about. Maybe someone is going through this, or will be going through this, or maybe you'll be going through this one day. It's just something to keep in mind, and hopefully start changing things for the better.
Yep. And again, even if we're the only people that say it in this generation,
we'll keep saying it. Yeah.
Because, yeah. Be kind.
That's all it is. Be kind. We hope you enjoyed this week's topic. Join us for new episodes every Sunday. And to keep up with the herd, be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Highline Herd and visit our website at thehighlineherd.com. We hope you enjoy the show. See you next week.